Good evening, Rasha. Tonight, very happy to welcome Amina Zaman. She's an actress and filmmaker and playwright, and talking to us from Russia. Hi, Amina. How are you? Welcome to the live.
Hi, Sharif. I'm fine, and you?
Everything is fine. I'm very happy to welcome you on this interview. And I visited Russia 2 times, Orenburg and Kazan. I was jury 2 times in Russia, and I will tell you something at the end. But let's speak right now. First, before we speak about your works in the film and on stage, I want to know your background and which part of Russia did you grow up, and your interest into art. How did it start?
hmm I was born in Nalchik. It's northern Caucasus, so
Uh huh.
it's south of Russia. And I
Yes.
moved to Moscow when I was 10 with my family, my brother Alim, and my parents. And I grew up in Moscow, studied at the Russian Academy of Theatre Arts, GITIS, the oldest theater academy in Europe. I mean, I always loved theater, music. I danced. Actually, me and my brother, we sang together, and we performed songs of Albert Tlachev when we were kids. So we started as pop stars, and then my theater career began.
When was it? When it was it? Your pop stars? Which years?
When we were kids,
When you were kids?
like
Just kids.
age six,
Mm-hmm.
7. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, until teen,
Yes.
until I was a teenager.
Yes.
And I'm Circassian, and I'm sure you know Cherkess people because of
Yes.
Mamluk,
Mm-hmm. Of
right?
Mamluk background. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
actually, my roots come from Egypt as well, just like
Really?
yours.
Yes, of course, of course. Yes, because there was a big era of Mamluk people in Egypt as well. And the name
Yes.
Amina is commonly Arab and and Turkish as well. It's in both culture.
It's a
Uh,
very popular name, and
yes.
Prophet's mother was Amina,
Of course. And
so I was
Zaman,
named after her.
yes, and your family name Zaman, and it's in Arabic means era or time as well.
hmm Yeah, like
Yes,
time, zaman,
yes,
but
Zaman.
it sounds Jaman,
Uh,
and if you
Zaman,
read it backwards, it's
yes,
namaz. I
Namaz.
like it that way.
Uh-huh. Yes, yes. And then tell me about you start. You start in the theater, the Russian theater in which part of Russia?
Moscow. I live
In
and work
Moscow.
in Moscow, and I graduated from Russian Academy of Theatre Arts in 2007, and I also defended my thesis on Eugene O'Neill's one-act plays, uh, and became a PhD in
Hmm.
art.
Hmm.
It was a very long way, so
Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
I practice theater and I also write about theater. So I know both practice and
Hmm.
theory very
Hmm.
well. And as a professional theater critic, Broadway reviewer, I can
Yes,
say, what's wrong in any production and how to
yes,
fix it. I know it
yes,
as a director, as a
of
composer.
course.
So I can
Uh-huh.
help many people
Uh-huh.
in
But
the crew and on stage.
yes, as well, I attended several plays in Russia and Broadway as well. But I want to ask you about your thesis in the PhD. What was the subject, and why did you choose it?
hmm So
Hmm.
the title of my thesis is Eugene O'Neill's one-act plays and
Yes.
first stage productions based on them. And
Uh-huh.
it's the very beginning of his career as a playwright. And most of his late plays are based on his one-act plays. So they were like drafts for his later masterpieces. And Eugene O'Neill is my favorite playwright. When I was 19, I read his play All God's Children Got Wings. I was a student of Gittes, and this play literally changed my life. And I split my life before and after O'Neill. And since like age 19, I'm an O'Neillian person, and Eugene O'Neill is my best friend. I made two screen versions of his one act plays. Before Breakfast, it's a monodrama, and The Movie Man, it's a one act comedy. Many people don't know about. You know, they think of O'Neill as a playwright who wrote tragedies only. No, he has comedies, a few, but still, you know. And it's a very funny film, historical, and you can see son of Oliver Stone, Sean Stone, playing Henry Rogers, and brilliant actor Jack Dimich playing Pancho. And the real prototype is Pancho Villa. So the story takes place in Mexico, and I really love it. So I was
Mm.
British in Before Breakfast, Mrs. Rowland, and I was Mexican in The Movie Man. I was Anita Fernandez.
Mhm.
And I also played Eugene O'Neill's wife, Carlota Monterrey, in
Yes.
my own comedy, Shut Up in O'Neill, which is my biggest project to date.
You know, accidentally, when I was in New York, I used to go to Tribeca Festival. Is in April, and it's the best time in New York. You know, the spring. You know,
Yes.
and not cold and not very hot. And I used to go to Broadway's, and accidentally, I attended Desire Under the Elms. You
Wow,
know,
that's amazing. The one in
and
2009?
yes, something like that. Yes,
Awesome.
and I was very happy because Brian Dennehy was starring, and for me it was very nice because on Broadway, you know, it's a chance to see the actors you loved and seeing a lot of film
Of
live.
course.
So I attended that, and of course, you know, it was adapted into a film with Sophia Loren and Anthony Perkins. You know,
Yes,
and
Sophia Loren. Oh, she's
I loved it
incredible.
very much. I loved the presentation as well, this presentation. But I want to ask you about uh, your films. You did both short and long films as well?
Yes, I do both shorts
Yeah.
and feature films. These
Yes.
two screen versions of O'Neill plays were
Uh-huh.
short films.
Yes.
Monodrama Before Breakfast, like 24 minutes, and The
Uh-huh.
Movie Man is 14 minutes long.
Yes. Tell me right now, how do you see the audience right now?
Mhm.
They are still interested into seeing plays like before, or right now because everybody has tons of platforms at home and on his cell phone and tablets?
You know, people can watch a masterpiece on their phone,
Mm-hmm.
in the cinema, at home on TV. You know, the most important thing is to have a taste. And
Mm-hmm.
classical plays will
Mm-hmm.
always be popular because
Mm-hmm.
they are out of time. And
Mm-hmm.
when I decided to make a movie based
Mm-hmm.
on Eugene O'Neill's play, I was like, this is the best female part I can ever play. And
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Rowland is so powerful. And I'm like, it's a dream role, and I'm just doing it, you know. And after that, I made The Movie Man. And everyone who saw these films at film festivals, they loved it, you know. They were like, oh, can we watch it again? How can we do that? And Eugene O'Neill's website, eoneil.com, they have a TV section where you can watch my screen version, and it's also available on YouTube, where we are now. So many actors wrote in the comments that they really loved my performance and my film, and that I inspired them. And when I read those comments, I was so happy. And you know, all theater students, they study Eugene O'Neill, they study American drama, and they read these plays, but usually they read the most famous plays, Desire Under the Elms, Long Day's Journey into Night, masterpieces of Eugene O'Neill. And one act plays are known by professionals or like specialists in American drama, as I am. And these films promote Eugene O'Neill's early works. And those who didn't know about these plays, they're like, oh, I want to read them. And a lot of professors at GITIS told me, oh, we've never heard about these plays. Thanks for your scientific report. Thanks for your thesis. Thanks for your research. Because of that, now we know about these wonderful one-act plays. Of course, they are not as great as his latest autobiographical plays, but this is the beginning of a career. When you write something as a young playwright, you don't expect it to be your greatest work, right? And like my first play, Shalapin O'Neill, it's brilliant in my opinion. And my second play, Stanislavski Chekhov, is also incredible. And it was very hard to write something that's equally great as my first play. And all the heroes are genius people, and you can't make something outstanding about Shalapin O'Neill and something less outstanding about Stanislavski and Chekhov. So it's a very high level. But of course, I understand that what I will write in the future will be greater than what I wrote in the past, because I keep growing, and it's a normal process.
I want to ask you, why do you think that many Russian writers and novelists and playwrights, until now, they are immortal, and we keep seeing their works adapted over and over again? If I can say, like stuff like Rasputin, like War and Peace, these kind of
Mm-hmm.
masterpieces, they are being reinvented over Anna Karenina over and over
Yes,
again. Why do you think, according to you, they have these immortal elements?
because there is depth in these works, strong message, a meaning. These works were written with love, and that's why a reader can feel that. And there is a true story, that inspired all great books. All, even if they don't say that, but everything comes from life. And for example, Anton Chekhov's plays, they are so out of time. You can stage Uncle Vanya today, and you see how everything is just the same now. Just the interior changed, but the problems stay, the same. That's why they are very topical, and they will be staged again and again in the future, because they're well written and written with love.
I want to ask you, sometimes when we see a film, and in the beginning we see like based on true story, this statement, grabs the attention of the viewer, you know. But I want to ask you, in your play, you mixed fiction, and you mixed real
Mhm.
characters, right? So tell me, how did you manage to blend these two elements? Factual characters and fictional circumstances.
It's a pleasure, to mix that. I write about people I admire. And when I was writing my thesis, I was, reading nonstop, and I found so many unique documents and rare facts that are unknown for general audience. For example, that Eugene O'Neill's father, a Broadway star, James O'Neill, who was famous for his role as Monte Cristo, he played Jesus Christ in San Francisco way before his Broadway career. And only like three people in the world knew about that, you know? And I wanted to combine all these rare facts and show Eugene O'Neill and Fyodor Shalapin, greatest Russian basso in the history of opera. Um, from another side, they had a fantastic sense of humor. And, Shalapin was famous for his roles in tragic operas, and O'Neill was famous for his tragedies. And when I said that I wrote a comedy about Shalapin and O'Neill, everyone thought it was a joke because they had no idea how funny these people were in real life. And I was like, let's do that. It was a challenge for me, and I did that. And most of their lines are real quotes or based on like real facts. So when I add my lines, you can't say which one is mine and which one is theirs. That was the biggest challenge, to write it the way they talked in the past, like 100 years ago, so that it sounds natural. It sounds old-fashioned today, but it doesn't sound like people talk in the streets today, right? And
Mm.
when I wrote Stanislavski Chekhov, I had the same idea, to tell people what they don't know about such outstanding actors and teachers of acting and creators of acting techniques as Konstantin Stanislavski and Michael Chekhov. And this play is also inspired by a true story, last meeting in Berlin in 1928. And I was inspired by both Western and Eastern cultures. And the story takes place at a Turkish cafeteria in Berlin. So you see three characters: Stanislavski, Christian, Michael Chekhov, Jew, and Güler, a waitress who is a Muslim. So they represent three religions, and you see how much fun they have together, how they understand each other, and that there is no cultural or religious barrier between them. And in my world, they represent harmony. And Güler represents viewers in theater. She's a simple girl. She's not stupid, but of course she's not intelligent. She didn't read as many books as Stanislavski and Chekhov did, but she wants to learn more. And she doesn't know who these people are. That's why she's so sincere, and she talks to them as to, her friends, and they love it. And they can be also natural and relaxed, Nobody knows, who they are in this small cafe. So we see their human side. Everybody knows they are genius actors. They are great directors. And actually, Stanislavski is the first theater director. He created that profession. So we all know that. But what majority doesn't know is their personal side and their human relationship. Stanislavski was a teacher of Michael Chekhov, and Chekhov was his favorite student. And they represent an ideal relationship of a teacher and a student to me. So Stanislavski is a teacher I never had. And at least in my play, I have that, So I wish everyone such an outstanding and loving teacher as Stanislavski, who was very happy for Michael Chekhov, and he, opened the door for Michael, and then Chekhov went on his own way, but still he was happy that Chekhov created his own technique, you know. So that's how a true teacher should be, you know. He should be happy for the success of his students.
I mean, I want to ask you, do you have certain dream project do you want to realize in the future,
Of
theater or
course.
cinema? Yeah.
Y- Yes, actually, I want to make screen versions of both of my plays, Shalap and O'Neill, the one I mentioned. So this is the first edition,
Publication. Yes.
and I want to make it in English, as all my films, and screen version of Stanislavski Chekhov. Uh, Probably it will happen after stage production, Stanislavski Chekhov, and actually I want to have multiple productions in different countries and in different languages, and I want to work with the best actors everywhere and give them a chance to play such roles as Stanislavski and Chekhov. And I'd love to stage my favorite play of Eugene O'Neill, All God's Children Got Wings. And, I have a dream project called Love Vegas. So it's a combination of two words, love and Vegas. So it's about love in the city of sin. So
Yes.
it's a comedy as well. And I'd love to shoot it in Las Vegas in the future, inshallah.
Inshallah. See, great. Amina, I want to thank you very much for this lovely interview, and I wish you all the best in your upcoming projects. I hope sometimes you can attend your presentation on theater, somewhere in the world. I hope you can go to Egypt as well.
I was in Egypt. Actually, I was there, and I want
Uh,
to show a couple of pictures if you don't mind, you know?
yes,
This
voila.
is me.
Mhm. Yeah, typical. The
Yes.
Sphinx,
And
yes.
actually, I have this
Mm.
wonderful
This is,
thing.
yes. Hmm.
Can you read it?
With
So it's
hieroglyphic,
my
yes.
name.
In hieroglyphic, yes.
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 So
Mm.
I always order something like this. So I have
Yes,
my name in all the languages. And I actually was in Alexandria and I really loved this palace.
of course. Yes. Andalus, yes.
Yes, the guide who was like, who was showing us, all the places. He was like, "Marry me. I'll buy you any house you want in Egypt." And I said, "I like
Mm,
this one." He's like, "But you can't
okay.
buy that one. It's a palace." I'm like, "Sorry,
Mhm.
So
Yes.
it's really hard to have a
Yeah.
taste.
Yeah. This is great. Yes. Yeah. When I grew up in the 70s in Cairo, there was a special cinema downtown Cairo that used to present Russian cinema.
Hmm.
And I used to love to watch Russian cinema. And then when I grew up, the Russian Center was very active in downtown Cairo as well. And but then during Cairo Festival, we used to present a lot of Russian cinema, and later on when I used to go to festivals as well. And I love very much the contemporary directors, and I wrote, of course, a lot of articles about them, especially Tarkovsky,
Hmm.
but I think right now I'm very happy that you try to work in both medium, although many artists prefer cinema or television. And I want to tell you here as well in Latin America and Ecuador and across. My wife loves Russian television because
Hmm.
it is dubbed in Spanish, like Turkish as well,
Yeah,
and they
Turkish
have a
TV
lot of
series are very
audio.
popular right now.
Yeah, because here there is the culture of telenovela, the soap operas, and of course, there are very capable actors and actresses and writers, and they are very easy to dub, to and make the characters and the drama accessible to international audiences.
Absolutely. And
Yes,
one of my favorite singers is Dalida.
Dalida, of course,
Yes.
she was in
Oh,
Egypt. Yes, Egyptian, of course.
I know. I know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dalida
Salama
and
ya salama. It's incredible.
incredible.
I mean, it's
Hmm.
amazing to see talents from all over the world, and I wish the music and theater and film world to be as multicultural as possible, so that we see the best artists from every country, and when they come together in an international project, that's just incredible, and the audience becomes even bigger, and that's what I do, international projects. And actually, my latest show, Shalap and O'Neill,
Yes,
it unites Russian and American cultures.
of course. Yes,
It's incredible, and it's
yes,
a comedy, and these heroes, they admired each other, but they didn't work in real life
yes.
together, but they did in my comedy. So I made Eugene O'Neill's American Dream true on Russian stage. And I intend to do so in my other projects.
Great. This is great, Amina. Again, I want to thank you very much. I hope to receive you again when you have a new project to announce. And I wish you all the best, in your upcoming work, and best of luck.
Shukran. Thanks for
Shukran.
having me.
Uh, uh,
It was an honor and a pleasure to
uh,
talk to such an outstanding film critic as
Thank you.
you, Sharif. And thank
Thank
you
you.
for the highest level of professionalism.
Thank you. Spasiba. Thank you. Thank you.
Пожалуйста.
Thank you. Have a great
Have
evening.
a great
Thank you very
day.
much. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.